6 to 8 verse. So to whom we should one should not speak Bhagavad Gita. Now, today's to whom we should speak about Bhagavad Gita. Ida jaidam paramam gujjham mat bhakteshu vidashyati bhakting mai param kritta mam eva ishyati asanshaya. Ja, anyone who idam, this, paramam, most, guhyam, confidential, secret, mat, of mine, bhaktishu, amongst devotees. Avidashyati explains, bhakting, devotional service, moi, unto me, param, transcendental, kritta, doing, mam, unto me, evo, certainly, ishyati, comes, asanshaya, without doubt. For one who explains this supreme secret to the devotees, pure devotional service is guaranteed. And at the end, he will come back to me. So Krishna Swami will come, Mam Evashyati, come to me. Only one goes, Sharanang Braja, goes to him. So one should not misunderstand that type of a statement. Generally, it is advised that Bhagavad Gita be discussed amongst the devotees only. For those who are not devotees will understand neither Krishna nor Bhagavad Gita. Those who do not accept Krishna as he is and Bhagavad Gita as it is should not try to explain Bhagavad Gita whimsically and become offenders. Bhagavad Gita should be explained to persons who are ready to accept Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It is a subject matter for the devotees only, and not for the philosophical speculators. Anyone, however, who tries sincerely to present Bhagavad Gita as it is, will advance in devotional service activities and reach the pure devotional state of life. As a result of such pure devotion, he is sure to go back home, back to Godhead. Then very important. न च तस्मात् मनुष्येषु कश्चित् मे प्रियकर्तम भविता न च मे तस्मात् अन्य प्रियतर भुवि. No, never. Tasmat, then him. Manushyashi, among men. Kashchit, anyone. Me, to me. Priyokrit tamaha, more dear. Priyokrit, dear. Priyokrit taro, priyokrit tama. Dear. Bhavita will become in future tense. No, no. And. Me, to me. Me, to me. Tasmat, then him. Onno, another. Diyotaro, dearer, bhuvi, in this world. There is no servant in this world more dear to me than he, nor will there ever be one more dear. So Prabhupada, Unno what? Prabhupada never, Unno means Unno, other. But Prabhupada there, no servant. Unno means actually is telling about devotee. So that is a Prabhupada directly, no servant, means no devotee will be dear than he. Prabhupada does not give any purport because Prabhupada has mentioned this verse in so many places. as the importance of preaching. Krishna personally said is my most dear. Uddishate cha ye imam dharmam sambadam avayo jnana yogyana tanaham ishta shamiti me matihi. Uddishate will study cha also ja he who imam this dharmam sacred sambadam conversation avayo of ours. In Sanskrit, aham means I, aham, abam means we both, and bayam means, bayam means we all. Abhayo means of ours. Bayo, abhayo. Jnana, of knowledge. Yogyana, by the sacrifice. Tena, by him. Aham, I. Ishta, worshipped. Sham shall be iti das. May my mati opinion. And I declare that he who studies this sacred conversation of our worship me by his intelligence. Reading it. And I declare that he who studies this sacred conversation of ours only fruit and flower. Krishna saying this, who is studying the Bhagavad Gita also worship Krishna. Shraddhavan anushuyascha sniyatapi jonaro jopi mukta shubhal lokan prapniyat punyabhav. You have seen Bhagavad other parts. What is the importance of hearing and speaking? It is called Shruti fall. Shruti means hearing, fall. So here Krishna is telling of Bhagavad Gita about speaking fall and Shruti fall. What is the fall of speaking Bhagavad Gita? And what is the result of hearing both? Here are these words. What is the important part? Previous words. What is the result of speaking? Now, what is the result of hearing? How to hear? Shraddhavan, with faithful. Onushya, not envious. So, quality of hearing is Shraddhavan, Onushya, non-envious and faithful. So, somebody is hearing in envious mood. Yes, I'll record this and I'll see him later. He is not honest. So, and Sriniyat does hear. Opi, suddenly, Jaho, Nara, a man. Sahi, Opi also. Muktaha, being liberated. Shubhan, the auspicious. Lokan, planets. Prapnuyat, he attains. Punnakarmanam, of the pious. And one who listens with faith and without envy becomes free from sinful reactions and attains the auspicious planets while the pious rule. In the 67th verse of this chapter, the Lord explicitly forbade the Gita's being spoken to those who are envious of the Lord. In other words, Bhagavad Gita is for the devotees only. But it so happens that sometimes a devotee of the Lord will hold open class. And in that class, not all the students are expected to be devotees. Why do such persons hold open class? It is explained here that although not everyone is a devotee, still there are many men who are not envious of Krishna. They have faith in him as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. If such persons hear from a bona fide devotee about the Lord, the result is that they become at once free from all sinful reactions, and after that attain to the planetary system where all righteous persons are situated. Therefore, simply by hearing Bhagavad Gita, even a person who does not try to be a pure devotee attains the result of righteous activities. Thus, the pure devotee of the Lord gives everyone a chance to become free from all sinful reactions and to become a devotee of the Lord. Generally, those who are free from sinful reactions, those who are righteous, very easily take to Krishna consciousness. The word Purna Karmanam is very significant here. This refers to the performance of great sacrifices, like the Ashwamedh Yajna mentioned in the Vedic literature. Those who are righteous in performing devotional service, but who are not pure, can attain the planetary system of the pole star or Dhruvalok, where Dhruva Maharaj is residing. He is a great devotee of the Lord, and he has a special planet which is called the pole star. Kushit etat sutam partho toy agro chetosha. Toya ekagreno chetosha kuchit agyano samho nashtaste parantap. Dhananjaya kuchit whether etat this srutam heard partho son of Pritha. Toya by you. Eko agreno with full attention. Chetosha by the mind. Kochit whether Ajnana of ignorance. Shammoha the illusion. Pranashta dispelled. Te of you. Dhananjaya, O conqueror of wealth, means Arjuna. O son of Pritha, O conqueror of wealth, Arjuna, have you heard this with an attentive mind? And are your ignorance and illusions now dispelled? It's another thing. Like Krishna is seeing that he's attentively hearing, but still Krishna is asking because actually is hearing externally in mind or actually is hearing. Still is asking. As a teacher, one should inquire about it. The Lord was acting as a spiritual master of Arjuna. Therefore, it was his duty to inquire from Arjuna whether he understood the whole Bhagavad Gita in its proper perspective. If not, the Lord was ready to re-explain at any point or the whole Bhagavad Gita if so required. Prabhupada said, Krishna was ready to explain whole Bhagavad Gita again. So how? Yes. When Krishna said, have you heard attentively? Have you understood? That means, if he said no, that means he is ready to explain again. Actually, anyone who hears Bhagavad Gita from a bona fide spiritual master like Krishna or his representative will find that all his ignorance is dispelled. Bhagavad Gita is not an ordinary book written by a poet or fiction writer. It is spoken by the Supreme Personality of God. Any person fortunate enough to hear these teachings from Krishna or from his bona fide spiritual representative is sure to become a liberated person and get out of the darkness of ignorance. Now, Krishna's Bhagavad Gita finish. Now, Arjuna's realization of Bhagavad Gita. Arjuna Vacha. Nashtamoho siddhi labdha tatpasadat mayacheto sthitoshmi gata sandeho kurishya vachanam. Arjuna Vacha. Arjuna said, Nashtamoho, my illusion has dispelled. Smriti labdha, I have regained my memory. Tat pasada, by your mercy, maya, by me. Achyuta, O in Sthitoshmi, I have situated in my original position. Gata Shandeho, all my doubts are removed. Kurishye Bachanang Tavo, Kurishya, I will execute Bachanang Tavo. Your word means I will execute your order. Arjuna said, my dear Krishna, O infallible one, my illusion is now gone. I have regained my memory by your mercy. I am now firm and free from doubt and am prepared to act according to your instructions. The constitutional position of a living entity, represented by Arjuna, is that he has to act according to the order of the Supreme Lord. He is meant for self-discipline. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that the actual position of the living entity is that of eternal servant of the Supreme Lord. Forgetting this principle, the living entity becomes conditioned by material nature. But in serving the Supreme Lord, he becomes the liberated servant of God. The living entity's constitutional position is to be a servitor. He has to serve either the illusory Maya or the Supreme Lord. If he serves the Supreme Lord, he is in his normal condition. But if he prefers to serve the illusory external energy, then certainly he will be in bondage. In illusion, the living entity is serving in this material world. He is bound by his lust and desires. Yet he thinks of himself as the master of the world. This is called illusion. When a person is liberated, his illusion is over, and he voluntarily surrenders unto the Supreme to act according to his desires. The last illusion, the last snare of Maya to trap the living entity in the proposition that he is God. The living entity thinks that he is no longer a conditioned soul but God. He is so unintelligent that he does not think that if he were God, then how could he be in doubt? That he does not consider. So that is the last scenario of illusion. His order. The word moho is very important in this verse. Ashta moho. Moho refers to that which is opposed to knowledge. Actually, real knowledge is the understanding that every living being is eternally a servant of the Lord, but instead of thinking oneself in that position, the living entity thinks that he is not a servant, that he is the master of this material world, for he wants to lord it over the material nature. That is his illusion. This illusion can be overcome by the mercy of the Lord or by the mercy of a pure devotee. When the delusion is over, one agrees to act in Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness is acting according to Krishna's order. A conditioned soul, illusioned by the external energy of matter, does not know that the Supreme Lord is the Master who is full of knowledge and who is the proprietor of everything. Whatever he desires, he can bestow upon his devotees. He is the friend of everyone, and he is especially inclined to his devotee. He is the controller of his material nature, of this material nature, and of all living entities. He is also the controller of inexhaustible time. And he is full of all opulences and all potencies. The Supreme Personality of Godhead can even give himself to the devotees. One who does not know him is under the spell of illusion. He does not become a devotee, but a servitor of Maya. Arjuna, however, after hearing Bhagavad Gita from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, became free from all illusion. He could understand that Krishna was not only his friend, but the Supreme Personality of Godhead. and he understood Krishna factually. So, to study Bhagavad Gita is to understand Krishna factually. When a person is in full knowledge, he naturally surrenders to Krishna. When Arjuna understood that it was Krishna's plan to reduce the unnecessary increase of population, he agreed to fight according to Krishna's desire. He again took up his weapon, his arrows and bow to fight under the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, Bhagavad Gita is finished here. Discussion of Krishna Arjuna is finished. Now, last 5 verses, Arjuna, Sanjay's comment. Now, what is like, you have heard Bhagavad Gita. Now, what is your comment? Just tell you with you, is similar with you or not. Then, if it's similar with you, then you understand Bhagavad Gita. Sanjay Uvacha. Ittaham Vasudevasya Parthasya cha Mahatmana Sangvadam imam Asrusham Adbhutam Romharshanam. Sanjay said, Iti das Ahamai Vasudevasya of Krishna, Parthasya and Arjuna, also Mahatmana of the great soul, Sangvadam discussion, imam this, Asrusham have heard, Adbhutam wonderful, Romharshanam making the hair stand on him. So, Romharshanam. So nice that, have you after hearing Bhagavad Gita, Romharshan is there? That your realization or similar person. Sanjay. Sanjay said, I have Romharshan, Advaita, making the hair stand on. Hair stand took a reason. Out of fear, out of ecstasy. It is not out of fear, it is out of ecstasy. Wow! I'm so fortunate I able to hear Bhagavad Gita. Whole Bhagavad Gita. Thus, have I heard the conversation of two great souls, Krishna and Arjuna, and so wonderful is that message that my hair is standing on him. In the beginning of Bhagavad Gita, Dhritarashtra inquires from his secretary Sanjay, what happened in the battlefield of Kurukshetra? The entire study was related to the heart of Sanjay by the grace of his spiritual master, Vyasa. He thus explained the theme of the battlefield. The conversation was wonderful because such an important conversation between two great souls had never taken place before and would not take place again. It was wonderful because the Supreme Personal Godhead was speaking about himself and his energies to the living entity, Arjuna, a great devotee of the Lord. If we follow in the footsteps of Arjuna to understand Krishna, then our life will be happy and successful. Sanjay realized this, and as he began to understand it, he related the conversation to Dhritarashtra. Now it is concluded that wherever there is Krishna and Arjuna, there is victory. Vyasa prasadat sutava etat gujjham aham param jugam jugeshrat krishnat sakshat kathayatasya. Vyasa prasadat, by the mercy of Vyasadeva, Srutavan have heard, etat, this, Gujjam, confidential, Ahamai, Param, the supreme, Jogam, mysticism, Yoga Isharat, from the master of all mysticism, Krishna, from Krishna, Shakshat, directly, Kathayata speaking, Swayam, personal. By the mercy of Vyasa, I have heard this most confidential talks directly from the master of all mysticism, Krishna, who was speaking personally to Arjuna. Vyasa was the spiritual master of Sanjay, and Sanjay admits that it was by Vyasa's mercy that he could understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This means that one should not understand Krishna not directly but through the medium of the spiritual master. The spiritual master is the transparent medium. Although it is true that the experience is still direct, this is the mystery of the disciplic succession. When the spiritual master is bona fide, then one can hear Bhagavad Gita directly as Arjuna heard it. There are many mystics and yogis all over the world, but Krishna is the master of all yoga systems. Krishna's instruction is explicitly stated in Bhagavad Gita, surrender unto Krishna. One who does so is the topmost yogi. This is confirmed in the last verse of the 6th chapter, Yoginam Visharvesha. Narad is the direct disciple of Krishna and the spiritual master of the Vyasa. Therefore, Vyasa is as bona fide as Arjuna because he comes in the disciplic succession. And Sanjay is the direct disciple of Vyasa. Therefore, by the grace of Vyasa, Sanjay's senses, Sanjay was purified, and he could see and hear Krishna directly. One who directly hears Krishna can understand this confidential knowledge. If one does not come to the disciplic succession, he cannot hear Krishna. Therefore, his knowledge is always imperfect, at least as far as understanding Bhagavad Gita is concerned. In Bhagavad Gita, all the yoga systems, Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, and Bhakti Yoga, are explained. Krishna is the master of all such mysticism. It is to be understood, however, that the Arjuna was fortunate enough to understand Krishna directly. So, by the grace of Vyasa, Sanjay was also able to hear Krishna directly. Actually, there is no difference between hearing directly from Krishna and hearing directly from Krishna via a bona fide spiritual master like Vyasa. The spiritual master is the representative of Vyasa also. Therefore, according to the Vedic system, on the birthday of a spiritual master, the disciples conduct the ceremony called Vyasa Puja. Hare Krishna. So, after finish, I come to the temple. So, last two verse tomorrow finish. Hare Krishna.